Nation's governors are gathering in Washington, D.C. for their annual winter meeting, and the stakes are high this time around. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly telling the Topeka Capital-Journal that Democratic governors have already been, quote, having conversations about pushing back on President Trump's agenda. I want to now bring in Delaware Governor Meyer, who is a Democrat. Governor, welcome to the show. It's been a whirlwind first 4 weeks for your governorship.
It certainly has. Good morning, Markie, and good morning, America.
Yeah, good morning to you. So is that true, what I just said off the top about Governor Kelly, that you're having these kinds of conversations about pushing back on the Trump agenda with the other 22 governors there?
I appreciate that. I agree with Governor Kelly. First and foremost, we're looking to deliver for Delawareans, just as Governor Kelly is looking to deliver for Kansans. Sometimes that means collaborating with Washington. Certainly, it's been difficult these last few days and last few weeks with the funding freezes and lack of predictability and clarity about where we're going, what the direction is, and how it truly delivers for Delawareans. I was elected to deliver a quality education system, to bring down the cost of eggs, to make sure housing and health care are more accessible and affordable. When the president wants to do that, I'm game to collaborate. Yeah. If he does something against that, I'm going to protect Delawareans.
And some of the conversations are about how you can push back?
Certainly, if you're talking about slashing Medicaid, my wife is an emergency room physician. You're talking about denying health care rights to certain sectors of the population. That's not just bad for a few people, that's bad for all of us.
What areas, when you're having these conversations at this meeting of the minds this week, what areas do you think you can work and want to work with President Trump on?
Well, look, I think there's a broad belief among not just Democratic governors, but all governors in efficient government. So the general principle of something like DOGE, of saying every tax dollar is precious, an American worked for that tax dollar and contributed to the national pie. How do we deliver that as efficiently as possible to grow our economy, to improve our schools? There's certainly fear right now I'm a former school teacher. I'm the only governor in America, I believe, who taught public school. When you talk about eliminating the Department of Education, where are Title I funds going to go? Where are teachers on the front lines going to get basic resources? There may be answers to those questions. We don't have those answers yet. So I think there's a lot of questioning, not just among Democratic governors, but all governors, about how do we get the resources we need to deliver for Americans.
Yeah. I know you're a former public school teacher, small business owner. What are you hearing from other, constituents in your home state about those topics of education, the economy, and all the fast changes that are coming out of Washington right now? Are people worried? Or
I think the overwhelming majority of Delawareans aren't like proud Democrats or proud Republicans as much as they're proud Americans and proud Delawareans. They want quality schools for their kids. So increasingly partisan talk is not what I don't think Delawareans or Americans are looking for. They're looking for smart governance with compassion. And so we have our head down. We're not spending as much time on Washington, on some of the craziness going on. We have our head down looking to deliver for the people that elected me.
Before I let you go, following the election, there's obviously been major conversation about where the Democratic Party goes from here. How do you course correct? And do you think that governors are really at the helm of deciding that kind of direction, sir?
Look, on one hand, we are in an incredible position to deliver economically, to deliver a future that Americans deserve. Democratic governors and Republican governors. At the same time, if things go off the rails, if the crazy gets crazier and crazier in Washington, we're in a unique position to be the first line of defense, to protect the residents of each of our states, to make sure that we govern with compassion, to make sure we know that everyone can be part of this American dream. Everyone has an opportunity to have an American future. We don't bias based on sexual orientation. We don't bias based on what country you came from, your race, your gender. And we're proud of that in Delaware. And I know many governors, many Democratic governors who represent a majority of Americans are proud of that as well.
I know it's a big week for you there in D.C. Delaware Governor Meyer, thank you for giving us so much of your time. I know you were on the Hill last night, now Morning in America this morning. So appreciate it, sir.
That's right, Markie. Stayed up late to watch a good hockey game last night. Ending didn't turn out as I wanted, but
Come on, man. I know. Maybe next time. Hey, Gov, thanks so much. Appreciate your time.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.